Hi Scorpio, welcome back. Scorpio, this is going to be your you versus them reading. I'm going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with. Keep in mind that it's a general reading, so the roles may be reversed. Feel free to flip them if you need to. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it does resonate, awesome. My readings are timeless. I just trust that when you find this, it's for you, okay? So when I was meditating, Scorpio, on your overall energy, I got clearly an image of angel wings. And then a song came through that I have not heard in forever. And I don't know if I've ever channeled this song before, but it's, how do you talk to angels? How does he say it? How do you talk to an angel? How do you hold her close where you are? It's like trying to catch a falling star. So that's an old song. I don't guess that you would hear that on the radio, but you never know. So you might randomly hear that song on social media, on the radio, in the store. If you do, obviously pay attention. That could be a sign for you. Come back to this reading. And yeah, it could just be also that those lyrics resonate with you, that there's like an angelic energy around you, that you're dealing with someone who sees you as an angel in their life, Scorpio, or that you see them that way, right? So it was a beautiful song to get to begin the reading. So let's see where this is headed and get some cards out and go from there. So Scorpio, overall energy. You have Sagittarius energy here. Some of you could be connecting with one or have that in your chart. Or it's just simply the influencing vibes, right? So this is talking about, you know, being enthusiastic, philosophical, not being afraid to put yourself out there or go outside of the box right now. Some of you might be actually looking for new experiences or travel or to, you know, like go places you've never been before in your life, both emotionally, spiritually, and physically. This is like a very experimental type of energy as well. Sometimes this can talk about risk-taking, Scorpio. So let's see what your overall vibes are. The Seven of Pentacles. Person you're connecting with is the Magician and Two of Wands. So I heard eyes on the prize. You've got your mind set on something here. Maybe a vision for yourself or where you see your life headed, or maybe a vision for this connection and where you would like to see it headed. All right, Scorpio. Excuse me. This person has the Magician and the Two of Wands. So they're manifesting some sort of progress in their life. So if they had been, you know, stuck in a box or, you know, stuck in their ways, I feel like this person is now finally in the space of like creating some sort of progress away from that energy into their next chapter, wanting to see progress just in general, or maybe within the connection between the two of you, right? So let's go into the recent past energy and see what led up to this, Scorpio. For this reading, I am using the same deck. Actually, I just realized I have some cards mixed up in here. Hold on a second. Forgive me. Okay. What I was going to say is, for this reading, I decided to try something new, okay? And so what I'm doing is I'm using the same deck, okay, for both sides. That way, if we get repeating cards, it's not even maybe or an if or an and. If that was coincidence, it'll be an obvious sign. Although I should have, I'm sorry, guys. I'm very particular about my cards, and I noticed that some of them are mixed in where they shouldn't be. So, okay. Recent past. We're going to look at what led up to the now for you, Scorpio, and then we're going to look at your perception of each other, how you feel underneath it all, and hopes and most likely future outcome. Recent past energy for my Scorpios. 10 of Cups, 2 of Wands, the High Priestess, and the King of Wands. So, good job following your intuition, Scorpio, as I feel like this has led you, you know, into this new chapter of your life that's going to serve and suit you very well. For some reason, my throat chakra wants to shut down, though, by the way. So there is still something that's lingering that's been unexpressed, I feel. And I feel it's coming from your end, but it could be this person's. But it's like some of you getting back in touch with like what emotionally fulfills you, what makes you happy, seeing progress when it comes to your own emotional fulfillment, opening up maybe yourself more, and therefore being more tapped into your intuition, and this giving you some sort of drive or motivation, right, towards a vision that you want. That may require you to go outside of your comfort zone, but I feel like you've done enough work on yourself, or the momentum has built up enough to where I feel not only are you being led in that direction, Scorpio, it's almost calling you, like, you know, it's very strong energy coming through, okay, to say the very least. So let's see what this person's recent past energy was leading up to the now. The Hierophant, the Tower, and the Eight of Cups. I have the song New York coming through by Alicia Keys. New York, that's where dreams are made of. Okay, some of you might actually be thinking about traveling to New York. I'm going to bet that's only just a very few of you, so please don't make that apply if it doesn't. Or this person might be thinking about that, or just maybe Alicia Keys is significant for some of you. She's an Aquarian, okay? This is Hierophant, Tower, Eight of Cups, Nine of Pentacles. So there's something here that has been recently shaken up in this person's relationships or commitments, or what they're committed to. And this is in the past. So I feel like this person might have went through a lot of changes when it came to like the relationship dynamics in their life, or maybe even the connection with you, that maybe had this person like kind of being pushed into this stage of their life where they had to rely, or needing to rely more on their independence or their self-sufficiency, and or they're wanting that in their life, okay? If there's been like commitments that were holding them back, whether that be to jobs or other people or you, I feel like this person having a breakdown in that, because they were kind of being pushed into a different direction as far as where their life was headed at that time. For some of you, this person may have had a breakup, okay? I don't feel this is with you. This could be in a marriage or a prior relationship, but it certainly could have been with you. But it's somehow impacted the connection, even if it wasn't with you. Because it's like driving this person's personality to some degree as to like why they are behaving the way they're behaving now, or why they're choosing the things that they're choosing, or at least that's how it's been leading up into the present moment. And yet this is progression for this person. So they needed to break ties with something that they were tied to in the past in order to get to this level, Scorpio. And it is something that was in their highest good, whether you understand that or not, I'm not sure. But let's see what perception is and how you perceive each other, Scorpio. And keep in mind that perception is in the eye of the beholder, so it may be your truth, but it may not be how they see it. But we'll start there, okay? So Scorpio's perception of this person, this connection. Six of Cups, the Three of Swords, Nine of Pentacles. I just felt my stomach drop. It's weird. Wow. So, okay. See, this is why I use the same deck, because there's repeating cards out already. They had the Nine of Pentacles in the past. You see it in your perception of them. So this could have been someone that you had heartache with in the past, okay? Or you have a past history with, and maybe you have commonalities when it comes to like things that you've been through. You know, a lot of times we connect with people that have things in common with things that we've also been through. So I feel that kind of energy. But whatever this is, this heartache that stems from the past, it has also encouraged you to become more self-sufficient in who you are. And now getting into this space maybe where you're ready to connect. Some of you had to give up a connection in the past in order to get where you're at as well. It could be another connection that you had or with this person. But I'm actually feeling again that this has something more to do with like things that you've given up or went through in the past, more so than it having to deal with this person. And same on their end, but like I said, take it as it resonates. Like both of you could be bonding over past traumas, or you know, be careful with that, Scorpio, because sometimes that can lead to trauma bonding. Look that up. But it can also serve as a space or a connection where you both can heal through that. It just kind of depends on where you're coming from, right? And how far along you are in your own healing journey. But it's a deep message right off the bat. So what is this person's perception? Oh my gosh, there's no way. The Three of Swords. So you have, again, another repeating card. The Three of Swords, they have the Three of Swords in their energy as well. Same card, different deck. Let's get one more on that. So Two of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So again, there might be a lot of conversating about, you know, hurts from the past or things that have hurt between you two. Or maybe there needs to be a conversation about that, Scorpio. And there definitely needs to be clarity here and the truth. And I feel like this person may have went back and forth on whether or not maybe to, you know, speak the full truth or talk about something with you because it's hard for them or is painful for them. But I feel they've really been pushed in that direction. Some of them have already done that. It may also be, Scorpio, that this person feels like maybe that you waver, okay, about what you share with them, or they may be wanting that truth out of you, especially if there's been hurt between the two of you, or maybe they just want to have a conversation. They want to have a dialogue. I feel like this person wants to communicate with you, and I heard wants to be real about things, or wants to be real with something. And or they may want to see that out of you. So it's really clear, I think, that where this person is coming from to me, but I'm not entirely sure it's terribly clear to you just yet. So let's see what's going on in the emotional space then, Scorpio. The Strength card. I don't know what that song is about from Alicia Keys, New York. So if you know what it's about, can you put the lyrics in the comments? I'm not entirely sure I know. Strength card, Three of Cups, the Five of Cups. Oh, misfire. One more. Jeez, Scorpio, I cannot take all these cards. One card. All right, here we go. The Five of Swords. Wow. There's really something here that really maybe devastated you, okay? And it could have been in the past, but it still lingers within you somewhere, all right? Some of you could strongly want, you know, to reconcile that, or maybe to reconcile with this person, or to at least see something come together. There is some sort of like remorse or regret showing up, whether that's on your end or this person's end, but it's showing up in your heart space. So it feels like some of y'all might have let the stinger come out, okay? Or be cautious about that, because as someone with my Scorpio and Mars, I know that when I'm hurt is when I'm the meanest. And Scorpio, you can understand that, right? Because when you feel hurt, and most Scorpios do, the stinger comes out, you know, like it just, you, especially if you've not done a lot of, no, I don't want to say that, especially if you're in your shadow, you know, it's just easier to lash back out like that. So some of you could have, you know, stung someone with your words or your actions, but it was coming from a place of hurt, okay? And again, I don't feel this is present energy, although some of you, this is a caution, you know, about not going there just because you're feeling a certain kind of way. But I feel for a lot of you, this has already occurred in the past, and for some reason it's lingering here as something that still needs to be resolved within you, within this person, with another connection, possibly, who knows? There's something that is left unresolved here, and you feel it, you know it, and there needs to be some sort of healing around that. Like, I just did this the other day, okay? And like I said, I have my Mars in Scorpio, which, I don't know if you guys know anything about Mars in Scorpio, but it's like, sometimes I behave more like a Scorpio than my sun sign. Where, anyways, I got like triggered, right? Like somebody hurt my feelings, and I just, like without even thinking about the words that I was saying, just said all the most hurtful things, you know? And it was because I was hurt. And then it wasn't until like I thought about it, actually, for me, because I've done a lot of healing around that, I almost immediately regretted it. Like, as soon as the words came out, I felt the pain of those words. And it was like, it happened before I could pull myself back. But because I am aware that I don't like the way that that feels, because I've done some healing around it, I immediately also apologized. Right? And so I didn't let it linger or hang out for months, or let my ego be like, yeah, I shouldn't have gone there, but I'm not going to lower my pride to say sorry. No, I hurt someone. I recognized it because I felt the hurt, and I apologize. It can be that simple. You know what I mean? And the longer you let something linger, the worse it gets anyways, right? So whether you're the one that's letting something linger, or this person is the one that's letting something linger, it really can be as simple as that for as far as resolutions go, because clearly I'm giving you that example for a reason, because I felt drawn to talk about that. And that may or may not be related to this connection, but I feel it is. So Queen of Cups, this person's emotional space. Two of Wands, the Death card. Justice. So, Scorpio, first of all, you're showing up in this person's heart space. If there has been hurt feelings, right, both of you, or I should say, this person has progressed beyond that or moved beyond that. Whereas I feel like it's still kind of a residual, it's still residually present in your energy, but feel free to swap that if you want to. I just feel like one person has progressed past it and the other person is still kind of dwelling in it. This person is wanting more balance in their life, okay? Wanting a sense of like seeing things come to justice, especially when it comes to this relationship, especially when it comes to you, Scorpio. That's why I felt like in their mind, right, they're very clear on what they want to communicate with you and how they want to communicate it. And they've moved past something on an emotional level as well, and let something go that they needed to let die. And now, you know, are coming at this from more of a balanced approach than maybe they have in the past. So this person has, like I said, done some progression when it comes to like how they're handling their emotions or how they handle relationships. you know, and especially, like I said, with this connection, is this person does hold you in their heart space, right? You're showing up in their heart space, Scorpio. So, yes. Let's look at hopes and what's going on there. Two of Swords. Okay, so I'm getting undefined. There's something that's left to be defined or something that's undefined. Sorry, that was random. I want to make sure I was getting the word right. So if there's been uncertainty, Scorpio, if there's been like some unknown variables, I feel you wanting to get the full truth or the full vision of something. This person has the Devil. So if there's been toxic shit going on or bad behavior or obsessiveness, I feel like this person is wanting to move past that, to progress past that energy so that they could feel more balanced in their emotional self, right? So let's look at most likely future outcome then, Scorpio, and keep in mind that all of the future outcomes can be changed with free will. So, 9 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Some of y'all are stressing about money. Okay, and if it's not money, then it may be like you stressing is making you more unstable or making it harder for you to get to the solution. So overall, the message is, no matter how that resonates with you, that like overthinking something or stressing something is not helping you. It is hindering you, Scorpio. I think you know that, all right? It's creating some indecisiveness as well. Yes, you're going to be okay. I just heard, am I going to be okay? Yes, of course. Listen, Spirit's always got your back, right? So you need to trust a little bit more that you have guidance, that you are loved, that you are protected by Source. Because I can see here, Scorpio, some of you are getting into your head. And that, you know, really? Okay, I'm getting too many songs. I'm hearing Call Out My Name, but I'm also hearing the song Shame by Kiana Leddes, I think. Wait. It's a shame. Something about shame, or It's a Shame. Check that song out. Anyways, it would be a shame to regress when you've done all this progression, you know, because I feel like a lot of you have felt more connectivity, you know, had some progression, you know, in your emotional self, but also in your spiritual growth that has built up some of your confidence. But it's like, listen, don't get too stuck on the past, or don't over divulge the past or place too much focus there, because you're kind of bringing up old wounding that you're reactivating in your own emotional self, and it's going to hinder you. It like might even cause a regression if you go there, right? And you have free will. So just something to take heed of, because some of y'all are getting all back into your head again, and it's creating indecisiveness where there could be decisiveness, and like seeing an opportunity here, but then holding yourself back or feeling like you can't see the solution to something, and the solution is right here. So, Scorpio, you really need to spend some time over the next 2 weeks, right, to get into a quiet space, 10-15 minutes a day, preferably in the morning, but can be at night, where you just clear your mind and sit in a meditation. and allow yourself to just have that time to release thought. Not to ask for anything, not to send out prayers to the universe, you know, not look for a solution, but just simply to release thought. And as you can sit in that space and release thought, you'll notice an immediate improvement in your physical body, but also in your emotional self. And it doesn't require anything more than that. 15 minutes a day, next 2 weeks. Just stay dedicated to that. I'm feeling my heart chakra open, like I'm actually getting heart palpitations. Some of you have blockages in your heart chakra from things that you haven't released from your energy, because there's like this habitual patterning going on where you feel like if you continually think about it, you're somehow going to figure it out. And no, you're complicating it. It's creating blockages in your energy. And so release it to the universe. And then feel the relief as it comes in, and let the universe figure this out, okay? So let's see, person you're connecting with is the Fool, the Emperor, Aries energy, some of you. She says in that song, "It's a shame she gonna know everything I taught you." Look up the lyrics to that song. The Emperor, the Fool, the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Hermit, Virgo energy for some of you. So you have a strong hold on this person's emotions, whether you know it or not, Scorpio. And I do feel like this person wants to let their walls down. They've gone through some sort of spiritual growth here. And they're clear on what it is that they want, or what they would say, or what they will say. This could have been after a period of instability in their life in general, or in relationships in general, or this relationship. But I feel like I just keep getting the word stronghold of their emotions. Like this person either has very strong emotions, okay, towards the connection, or you have a strong hold on their emotions, or maybe they have a strong hold on your emotions, you know? Could be interchangeable. I'm getting this song, I Dream About You. So there could also be some activations going on in this person's dream state or in yours. But see, now this person had pretty high walls, I feel, in the past. Or maybe you did, but somebody's walls are coming down, like the defense is coming down. And it's coming from a place of, like I said, love, or like this person being drawn spiritually to kind of relinquish something or let their guard down a little bit. I get a sense, Scorpio, that this person may be someone who's usually very guarded with their emotions. But when it comes to you, they'll let you see the truth. You know, or vice versa. But I feel it on this person's end. And what you do with that, well, I guess that's up to you. You know, like you have the ability to persuade this person to put their walls down, whether you're aware of that or not. But it's not going to be done through stinging this person or, you know, coming at it from that shadow part of you, Scorpio. It's going to be done when you come through the higher part of you, Scorpio, the lover that you are, that this person's walls come down. You know what I mean? And I think that this person, if you are to shine that love and onto yourself even, but yes, this person as well, then it's like you disarm them which is true of every relationship in your life, because law of attraction is always in place. So the more closed off you are, the more closed off the person you're dealing with is. The more defensive you are, the more you get defensive reactions out of other people or this person. You know, the more loving and open you are, the more people are loving and open to you. And I'm not talking about in the things that you say or do. I'm talking about in the way that you genuinely feel about another. You know, because the universe doesn't hear what you say, it hears what you mean, right? So when we come from an intentional place of love, you melt other people, right? Or you evoke that in another person. And so I feel if maybe it's been difficult to get to this person's emotions, that's how you do it. That's how it's done. And or vice versa, right? So that could also be for your cross watcher. That's how you're going to get to your Scorpio. If you want to get to a Scorpio, you got to be vulnerable and you got to tell the freaking truth, you know? And so I feel like this person is ready to do that, right? But that's what's going to, that's what would get to you, right? I'm not trying to tell on you, Scorpio, but seriously, you know, you gotta be direct with it. Gotta be honest. All right, so let's see what the guidance is then. Yes, of course. Communication is key. That's this person's guidance. Why are my cards falling out of my hands? Communication is, no, it's upside down. Communication is key. That's what I just said, right? And your card says emotions are running high. So that's just kind of further validation of what I just was saying here before my dogs rudely interrupted me. Just kidding, I love them. All right, let's see what the Osho Zen has to say. They want you to see beyond the illusion. Scorpio, not all is what it seems. Friendliness will get you a lot farther than anything else, right? They say you get more bees with honey, and that's the truth. And there's something here also about mastering your emotional reactions, which is why I think I was drawn to be vulnerable with you guys and tell you that story, because it's like your reaction matters, okay? And how you choose to respond matters a great deal. Not just for the people that you're dealing with, but also for yourself, right? And how you feel about yourself at the end of the day. So, wow, interesting reading, Scorpio. I'm going to leave it there. Zodiac signs that you might be dealing with. I have Gemini here, Virgo, Aries, Libra, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Leo, Gemini, and Pisces. Those are the predominant zodiac signs I'm seeing, but keep in mind you could be dealing with any zodiac sign as it is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, please do let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram for more fun stuff, so I do have videos there as well. Tarot Time with Dana, all of it linked in the description box below, as well as in the About section, where you can find the donation link. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do so there. Otherwise, I am wishing you the very best, Scorpio, and until next time, my friends. Namaste. Bye.